Hello traders, Bani this side from nexusindicator.com, and we are back again with a brand new Nexus Chart Trader update. In this update, we have made a lot of changes in terms of how you use the Nexus Chart Trader, and we have added compatibility for a new update that is going to be out for Ninja Trader, and it should be out today. It's called server side locks. So as you guys know, in TraderView, we do have an option of manual lock, wherein you lock the trading and it's locked server on the server. So you can't place any orders, whether you log into Ninja Trader or TradingView, it's permanently locked and it only unlocks at a certain time, whatever you select at the time of locking the account. Now the same feature is now available in Ninja Trader. So the way you do it is go into the Ninja Trader control panel and then select the lock icon and then select the lock duration. Now, the way we integrated it is through the coding. What we have managed to do is log the accounts on the server without you having to go in and manually lock an account. And these locks are used only for the loss limits, the profit limits, the consecutive losses settings that we have, and also for the profit protector. So basically, if in case for, let's say for this account shows locked, says profit protector, that means my account's balance went into a certain threshold and then my profit came down, so it locked me at $300 gain for the day. Now, this was done by the Nexus Chart Trader itself. It triggered a server lock and the account was locked. I didn't have to press this lock button and set a duration. When a profit lock, a daily loss or a daily profit is triggered, the account is locked for the rest of the day till the end of the session. However, for the consecutive loss, so I was going into the setting, but that is another update that we have added in this version of Nexus Chart Trader, which is a redefined settings option. So you don't have to go into the settings menu and then change the Nexus Chart Trader settings. What you can simply do is click on this settings icon on the top right hand side. Now, one of the things we have been thinking about in terms of how our users use the Nexus Chart Trader is the settings inside the Nexus Chart Trader itself is pretty huge. So there are different sections like trailing stop loss, uh, the break even, and all that. So in total, if you look at that, that's around 26 settings options, right? So if in case you want to manage them and remember them, it's really hard. But what you can do now with the settings window, which by the way, but like the default settings window, you have to click apply and then click OK. With this settings window, the settings change are real time. So basically, whatever you change over here. So for example, if I go into UI elements and I select show PNL and balance style, if I enable this option, the PNL and balance style shows up right away. So there is no delay or you have to click on something or apply something and then only that certain option will be enabled on the chart trader. That scenario is gone. So everything is updated from the settings live. So what that means, or for UI customization as well, is that you can select the certain font type or font size. You can customize that in real time. So if I enable bold text in real time, it became the whole panel came up with a bold text, and at the same time I can interact with the panel. But if you open the default settings window, it blocks your actions on the chart trader because the settings window is open. But while you have this settings window open, you can still use the Nexus Chart Trader. So let's say I'm in a trade and I'm still changing something in the settings. So I'm changing the fonts And while changing the fonts, I'm still able to use the Nexus Chart Trader and still tweak my settings in terms of how the UI should look, what sections you want on the chart trader. Let's say you don't want the PNL and balance style, or you don't want the reverse button, you can disable that. You don't need uh, the hover option wherein you see this hover. If you don't need that, you can disable these three options, and you can see now the boxes, the labels are not showing up for the hover tool. So whatever you change in this settings window is affected in real time onto the Nexus Chart Trader. And also the biggest feature is because the settings was a pretty huge uh, option, like we had multiple choices inside settings. We also have added a search option in the settings window. So if in case you want to search just for loss limit, yes, we add an extra space there. So when I search for loss limit, it automatically shows what settings are around the loss limit keyword, and it shows the daily loss limit for the pro account and the eval account. So it's a way of easily finding the settings inside the Nexus Chart Trader because we have so many settings. All the settings, by the way, you can access from the left-hand side just the way they are in the default settings page. But at the same time, you can search any settings from the top, let's say break even. So if you want to change something related to the break even, everything inside the break even is coming up, showing also the hotkey for the break even. So anything that included that word break even showed up, and you can tweak the break even settings accordingly. Similarly, you can search for anything else that you're looking for, rather it be trading schedule or alerts or changing the streamer mode or just customizing something in the UI. If you want to change that, you can easily do that through this new settings window, which you can simply access by clicking this settings icon on the top right hand side. So it's easily accessible and you can change any settings that you want on the fly. Now, the next big change we did was to the profit protector. And the way we design profit protector is we changed a little bit of its logic in terms of how it works. So if we look at so I'm still used to opening that old settings windows, but this is so much more convenient. So if in case I go into the profit protector option of Nexus Chart Trader, so we have this one as profit protector risk management, and it says enable profit protector, and the activation is $400. So how it works is, if in case my realized profit, so there are two options of trigger. Activation trigger is based on realized or unrealized, along with the realized, is if in case my profit goes at 400 realized, the Nexus Chart Trader automatically starts monitoring your unrealized balance, and which is unrealized plus the realized, and then if your profit give back, which is if in case your total PNL drops below the 30% of 400 or whatever the higher value might be that you achieve during a trade, if the price drops in a way that uh, your balance, your profit reduces by 30%, then it will lock you out. So it will lock out that account, and just like this one. And what it would also do is it would trigger a server side lock, so your account won't be tradable anymore. Even if you try to trade it on TraderWeight or TradingView, it won't work. It would simply get locked. So yeah, these were some of the updates, the settings, how the locks work, and also we added some new themes. So this is the TradingView theme, and this one is the dark theme, which we already had. Let me turn off the bold text. And within the settings option, you have this reset option. So it reverts your setting to how it was when you opened the settings window. So if you want to review what changes you made, you see this icon and you know that you changed this setting during uh, when you had the settings window open. So I just disabled bold text, and now let me show you the other themes. So these are all the themes. This is a pure black theme that we added. I think this is a great addition. And then we have this one as the old theme, and this is the TradingView theme, which I think I'm going to use it for some time. But yeah, as far as the update, these were the updates, and we are really excited about the new settings options and how we can change the settings on the fly, along with the new server side locks, because that is really helpful, because you don't need to pay for a separate service just to lock out your account so you can't trade them anymore. So NinjaTrader can now do that by default, and Nexus Chart Trader can leverage that locking capability into your existing profit protector, the daily loss limit, the daily profit, consecutive loss. So whatever lock is triggered, it is a server side lock instead of just locking it on the chart. Because previously, when we didn't have that, someone who logged out their account on Nexus Chart Trader can easily go into TraderWeight, close out NinjaTrader, and still trade on it. But now that is not possible. Once you get locked, the discipline is locked. You can't cheat it or you can't change anything. It's logged on the server. You can't trade it anymore. And for the consecutive losses, you can change the setting for how long you want to lock that account. So if in case you have a global lock or a per account lock for the consecutive losses, you can change for how much time you want to lock that account or the global accounts, whether you want to lock it for 15 minutes, 60 minutes, or till the session close. That's completely your choice to choose, and it's available in the Nexus Chart Trader settings. Well, I guess that is all for today, guys. I really thank you if you're still watching, and I really appreciate you subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. If you have any feedbacks or if you want to share something, please let us know. And if you haven't joined the Discord yet, I would request you to join the Discord, because we post on the Discord whenever we make some changes to either Nexus Chart Trader or the Nexus Trading Journal. So if you haven't joined, please join the Discord, and hope you guys have a great day and a successful trading session today. Thank you.